using quantitative strategies to disrupt traditional investing. Welcome to MathBay.
Caribbean poker is a relatively new game that origins from the luxury yachts of the Caribbean. In a short time, it became popular throughout North America and Europe. The appeal of Caribbean poker lies in its simplicity. It's a poker game that does not require much thought or strategy during the game. In this video, we will introduce you to the basic rules and strategies of Caribbean poker, as we will be mathematically analyzing the game and identifying potential vulnerabilities that give players a better odd advantage. Stick to the end of this video, and we will show you how to apply this adjusted strategy. If you do not want to miss any follow-up videos, please subscribe to our channel and turn on the notifications so you will know when we upload. Let's talk about the rules of the game first. Caribbean poker is a 5-card game in which players play against the dealer, and like most games, the aim is to get better cards than the dealer in order to win. The game uses a deck of 52 cards that are shuffled before each round. Players must place a bet at the beginning, and the dealer would deal 5 cards face down. Each player can then look at their cards and make decisions based on their hand. The dealer would also be showing one of the cards on the dealer's hand. No one is allowed to show their cards until every player at the table has had a chance to see their cards. After you've checked your hand, you have 2 options: fold, which is to forgo your bet, or play, which the player will have to place twice the amount of the initial bet. Once everyone has made a decision, the dealer will turn over the remaining 4 face-down cards to pay the winner based on each player's hand size. If your hand is stronger than the dealer's, your anti-bet will always be paid 1-to-1. However, if the dealer's cards are eligible, which is their own hand with ace-king or better, you will be paid 1-to-1 of the play amount. If the dealer's hand does not meet the minimum requirements, you will be awarded an anti-bet, but bets in the play area of the game will be void and returned to the player without any profit. However, on play bets, you can get paid more than 1-to-1. If your hand is 2 pairs or better, the dealer will pay the player at the following odds: royal flush, 100-to-1, straight flush, 50-to-1, 4 of a kind, 20-to-1, full house, 7-to-1, flush, 5-to-1, straight, 4-to-1, 3 of a kind, 3-to-1, and 2 pairs, 2-to-1. You will only get paid if the dealer has a qualifying hand and your 5 cards beat the dealer's hand. For example, if you have 3 aces and 2 sevens in your hand to form a full house, but the dealer's card is 4 fives, you will lose and get no payout. Unlike some other casino poker games, Caribbean poker does not offer any side bets. However, there is a jackpot present for this game. Most casinos offer players the opportunity to bet independently to win jackpots. The bet that qualifies for the jackpot is usually only $1, or 25 Hong Kong dollar if the casino is in Macau. This amount is independent of the amount you bet during the game. If you get a royal flush, you will win the jackpot. If you get a flush, you will still get 10% of the total prize money. Some casinos have different rules, and smaller hands such as 4 of a kind or full house may also be eligible for payout, but these bonuses are usually small. When you bet on a jackpot like the Mark 6 lottery, mathematically speaking, you are bound to lose money in the long run. However, when you get a 4-card royal flush, it's still exciting. Just make sure to keep your heart beating as you slowly look at the last card. Let's take a look at the strategy of Caribbean poker. Unlike some other games, Caribbean poker only needs you to make one decision. Once you've looked at your cards, you need to decide if it's good enough to go ahead or if you give up immediately. The only information you have is the card shown by the dealer. At this point, you only need to follow 2 simple strategies plus an additional strategy. Strategy 1. Always play a hand that contains any pair or better to play the game. Strategy 2. Always drop any hand weaker than Ace-King. Strategy 3. If the hand is Ace-King, then the strategy is as follows. This is an important dividing point in the game and can help reduce the house edge. In short, when you get Ace-King, you can follow this simple strategy. If the dealer shows any card between 2 and Q, and you have a card of the same level in your hand, bet and continue playing. When the dealer shows a card of an ace or a king, you should play if you also have Ace-King as well as Queen, Jack in your hand. If you have a Q and the dealer's card is below your fourth highest hand, raise to continue playing. That is, you have Ace-King Queen 8 and a 2 and they show a 7. The above strategy is the simplest strategy of Caribbean poker. By following this strategy, you will not lose more than the casino math edge as the game was designed. But sadly, even so, the casino's edge is still quite high at 5.23%. Meaning even by using the best Caribbean poker strategy, you will still lose money in the long run. But is it possible to find vulnerability in the game and win over the casino? The answer is theoretically yes. Let's talk about it in detail. Caribbean poker games can be seen in some casinos in Macau, Malaysia, and Europe. The game's house edge is as high as 5.23%, which means that for every $100 bet, players will lose an average of $5.23 in the long run. This is much higher than the house edge of other games such as roulette, baccarat, and sikbo, which means that players will lose money faster than other casino games. The reason people still play the game is because of the jackpot. So let's take a look at how you can beat the casino in this game. Again, as before, we ignore the complex mathematical analysis process and simply conclude that if players share information in Caribbean poker, they can strategize based on the hands of other players and have an advantage over the house. When 7 or more players cooperate at the table, they have a big advantage in the game. However, if there are 6 or fewer collaborators, they gain a much less advantage. Here are the detailed mathematical results. There are 7 players who share hand information with each other, using a computer-perfect strategy, and the players have a 2.378% advantage. With 6 players sharing hand information with each other, using a computer-perfect strategy, the casino has a 0.398% advantage. In practice, the theoretically possible 2.38% player advantage may not be feasible in reality, because it is impossible for players to use the computer to arrive at the best strategy every round. James Grosjean devised a method in beyond counting cards called MAC counting. Here's how it works. After all the cards have been dealt in a round, players check their cards and write down 3 messages. The initials represent M is match. Each player notes how many cards they have that match the dealer's upper cards. Possible values in the game are 0, 1, 2, or 3. A represent aces. Each player notes how many aces they have. Possible values in the game are 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4. K represents kings. Each player notes how many Ks he has. Possible values in the game are 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4. Players communicate their hand information to other players in a silent manner using chips, gestures, etc. This way each player knows how many matching cards their team has in total, which is called a MAC count. By knowing this number, as well as their own cards and those shown by the dealer, each player can change their renewal fold strategy to win their opponent. This MAC information is adjusted after the policy is as follows. If M equals sign 0, the player needs a pair of cards shown above the dealer or better to continue. If M equals 3 and A plus K equals 7 or 8, the player should play each hand. Here are the results of the mathematical advantage of players after using MAC information sharing. A team of 7 players, using MAC information sharing and tweaking strategies, has a 1.34% advantage. With a team of 6 players, Using Mac information sharing and tweaking strategies, the casino has a 1.88% advantage. Now the conclusion comes. If you have a team of 7 people betting with this strategy, players will have a 1.34% game advantage. This advantage allows players to place bets in areas such as progressive jackpots. When these jackpots reach sufficiently high numbers, players can bet long and earn huge payouts, all thanks to this seemingly small mathematical advantage of 1.34%. Knowing that the casino's house edge on Baccarat is also only 1.06%. For Baccarat's mathematical analysis and strategy, we will discuss in a future video. Don't be too happy at this point, because this advantage requires the close cooperation of 7 players. It is difficult to practice, and if the casino discovers that there is a shared hand between players, in principle, the hand will be voided, and you can imagine how frustrating it would be if you won a multi-million-dollar jackpot. If you don't have a team of 7 people and can't effectively exchange hand information with each other, I personally recommend not playing this game unless you are having fun with it. And if your goal is to make money, there is a more effective way than playing this game. We will discuss it in a follow-up video. In order not to miss any follow-up videos, please subscribe to our channel, turn on notification, and comment if you have any other games you want to know its vulnerabilities about on this video. And we will see you in the next issue.